Hi. So this is my thoughtful video, and I am so tired right now. So tired right now. But it's raining here, which honestly I felt a lot of comfort from the rain lately, and we had received so much rain over the past couple weeks at home, and like massive thunderstorms where the whole sky was just going crazy, and it felt like the thunder was just surrounding you. It's been amazing. But this is just like a sprinkle, sort of. It's kind of sprinkling, kind of spitting rain. I'm in the car. I said in my other video that I'm sleeping out here because I actually slept out here last night too. Just because the boys were gonna sleep out here and they ended up coming in, and I came out here to go pee to the bathroom because the bathroom's outside. And then when I went back in, they were all sleeping in all the beds. So yeah, I just slept out here, but I don't mind. It's kind of, I love my car. So the seat goes all the way down, which I don't even know. I've never had a car do that before. It goes all the way down, like a little smush the other seat if you let it keep going. So that's nice. And I've always been able to sleep pretty easy, you know. As a kid, I would fall asleep anywhere. So I don't know. Now, once I started teaching, it was a little bit hard, a little bit more challenging to get good rest and stay asleep. But overall, it's pretty good. But honestly, it's just like I'm so happy that we're all together, and it makes me happy that they're all tucked in and stuff, you know. So as far as this video goes, this is my thoughtful, like I said. I said in my other video, I'm really tired, so I might just, I don't know, sound spacey, and it's just because I'm tired. So we had a really long day, and it was great. Like, we got to, I went through North Dakota Minnesota for the first time. I stayed in Minnesota, went to North Dakota for the first time, and Montana now for the first time. So that's cool, because we've taken a route that was just a little bit south of here that went through South Dakota, and that was really cool too, in Colorado. But yeah, this route we haven't taken before, and it was really beautiful today. And toward the second half of our trip in the car, like, we all just started acting kind of wild, and like, you know, when you're doing something like this for so long, you kind of go a little stir crazy, and so it was a little like slap happiness going on, and just being really goofy and laughing about weird things, and just being funny. So that was kind of fun. But Merrick and Rowan, they fought today too. They fought yesterday. They just have some things they just have to work out, but it's been something that's been super long going. So that kind of was a drag, but at the same time, I'm open to, you know, whatever's happening in the moment, you know, and present to it. So it was just a little added challenge today to have that go on. And then, of course, getting my period was extra too, which I totally space out on saying this in the physical video. But I like 2 years ago, I started getting, like, feeling like pretty much everything was taken out of me when I get my period, and that's not how I was before. So that was kind of weird, but I think it has to do with my hormones, because I had adrenal exhaustion about then, and that could have had something to do with it easily. Yeah, it literally feels like my arms are weak, my legs are weak. Like, it's like I'm weak down through my legs. It's like a full body situation. And I don't have PMS or anything, you know. I don't ever have that. You know, some girls have that, but hang on. I don't have that, but yeah, I just recently I have on and off dealt with pretty bad cramps my whole life since starting my period. Well, I didn't have cramps that bad when I was really young, but but eventually they got bad, and then they've just been on and off bad. But this whole like whole body fatigue, it honestly, like, a part of the way that I would feel when I get my period now is kind of like how I do when I'm fasting, but even more so. So like to have my period and fasting was like, oh, like obviously I called this challenge to myself, you know, and I'm gonna get through this. But it kind of was good timing because it's before we get to places where I really want to just, I mean, I swam, you know, there's a hot tub here where we're at, and the beautiful view in the backyard. But like I'll be so happy to not be on my period for the West Coast. So mine's pretty short, so that will be good. Yeah, so that will definitely be good. I'm glad that will be over. And so I just try to, like, you know, be as kind to myself as I could today. But I'm telling you, every time, because I'm losing blood, so, you know, the whole standing up and getting lightheaded, that was I didn't say this in my physical video, that was more extreme today. And also just like, I was pretty tired at the beginning because I didn't get that much. I got more sleep than other nights, but I still didn't get that much sleep last night. So in the morning, all morning, whenever I get up to get out of the car, I literally had to like force myself to move, and it just took a lot to get myself going, you know. And also another thing I could have said in my physical video was that pushing doors, they feel like a block of lead. Like the whole thing feels like lead. I didn't realize how hard it is to push open a door. Every single door is like the hardest thing. It's like the hardest thing I've ever done is push open a door. I'm joking, but it's pretty hard to open doors right now. I'm trying to think of if there was something I was going with the whole period thing. Yeah, and then I saw the 3 turkeys, you know. I do feel like that there's some good things that are happening in me, and like, honestly, God knows the right time for that to happen, even though it's oddly spaced from my last one. That doesn't surprise me really. That doesn't surprise me really, and I'm just feeling good feelings about it. Like my body's healing and it's doing what it's supposed to do. So I think that's probably the best I can do there, and then just give myself a lot of grace. And I'm hoping that one of my things I really wanted to heal was period cramps. So because they get really bad where I have to do something about it. And I happen to have these homeopathic little pills that I will do if they get bad enough. Like if my period cramps get bad enough, I am not gonna do that, like with fasting and everything. Merrick today was like, you know, he asked me to eat again, and he was like, you're gonna be different on the trip, you know. And so honestly today I kind of was trying to focus on being a certain way and being like, I mean, there was a lot of times where we were just laughing and having a lot of fun and super jokey, but I mean, I just went through a lot today, so it was, and I'm also pretty internal, so it could be easy to look at me and be like, wow, she's like a sick person, you know. I mean, like I said before, like you wouldn't even notice that I was on a fast. Now, someone could be like, what's going on with her, you know? What's going on with her? Like I'm walking pretty slow. Although this afternoon, when we got here this evening, it was so cold, and the wind was really whipping on the deck where we were in the hot tub, and so I ran around the house a little bit, and I was totally out of breath by the time I was like getting ready to get in the shower and stuff, but I did it, you know. So it's like, but for the most part, I'm pretty much moving really slow and just kind of, especially with my period, just super toned down. I'm trying not to like seem gloomy. I don't want to seem gloomy, but I think I could sometimes feel a little gloomy, you know. I'm not trying to. It's just, I could literally curl up in my bed this whole time, probably. I mean, like today. I don't want to say this whole time because I definitely would never want to do that, but yeah, I could definitely have curled up today for sure. That's how my periods are making me feel. It's been making me feel like I should like have a movie day or something, you know. But I've just figured out how to live my life with it and continue forward, you know, and just take breaks when I need to, you know, to give my body a rest. So anyway, I didn't have a whole lot of thoughtful things to talk about, but I've been feeling time warps big time during this fast. I'm saying lately, but just during the fast in general. Like the minute that goes by between my alarm and when I meditate sometimes feels like 5 minutes. It's so weird. It's just the weirdest thing. And I'm very in tune with how long a minute is because I set timers for teaching that are really specific, like every 5 minutes, and then I set them every 1 minute. So my subconscious mind is really programmed to know how long a minute is. So it's really interesting how I'm feeling this sense of time warp, and I don't really know if that's like more the spiritual aspect of fasting or if it's something that's going on in my brain because of what I'm going through. You know, I'm not really quite sure about that. It's also sometimes all I have listened to a song and been like, whoa, was that just like what just happened during that time? It'd feel like a half hour or 20 minutes or something, like a super duper long time. So I wish I would have written that down because it was a specific situation, and I don't know, though, I can't remember it, but definitely feeling some time warp. I might come back to that if I have more specific situations. Today when I walked out of a gas station in the city, we drove through a city to get to this Airbnb. I heard like a noise that sounded like frogs that are across the street in the swamp from my house, and I was like, oh, that's so like, wow. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I'm hearing those here. Wow, that's really surprised. And then I realized it was a car alarm or something, squeaking, chirping. And then I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Because I remember experiencing something kind of like the opposite when I used to live in San Diego, and we went camping at the Colorado River. It was like silent there. And I remember when us going there, the kids were so freaked out from the bugs because they were so loud, and that's all you could hear. And it was just like when you got away from the bugs, it was just silent. And I remember how much I loved it. I loved it so much because the city is just so loud. You know, you're just always hearing constant noises, and it's just so loud. It's like such noise pollution. And where I live right now is, oh gosh, just having this experience just makes me appreciate where I live right now so much because it's so peaceful. I mean, I do have they dig behind us. It's a quarry and an excavating company that works there. So it's like an excavating company. So they dig and work back there. So sometimes there is some noise pollution, but often it's very, very, very quiet, which I really appreciate, and I love it, and I can really just, I don't know, be in nature and just feel such peace. Speaking of nature, I only have about 1 minute here, less than a minute, to talk about while we were driving today. Often, like even when I was a kid, when we would drive, I would really look out the window and I noticed the like sky and like the fields, and just really look at the scenery. And it's so insane how beautiful nature is. It's like such a work of art, how the like lines of things, you know, around a lake or a pond, and then there's like a layer of grass, and then there's a layer of something that looks like wheat, and then but it's like so beautifully done, made, created, and it's all natural. And anyway, that's really beautiful. I have to say goodbye. Bye.